Morning traders, what is up? We are back with another live session. Today is September 2nd, 2019, and we're pretty much halfway done the year, and time is blazing by so fast, and it feels like time is moving, yet we're still in this trade war dilemma. So, a lot of volatility in the markets, even though today is a bank holiday for the US and Canada. Today is a holiday for us. We're still in the last sessions, and it it might be a little, I'm not gonna say pointless, but generally when you do have major bank holidays, you don't want to be trading. But it's fine. Mondays are when we usually get our biases, so the session will be pretty short and quick. So let's get into it. Last night, what the market gives you, and the setup was there. It fit my criteria, and the criteria was pretty simple. I'll explain the setup as we go on. So when the market opened, we kind of created the support area right around this level, right around our entry. I believe it was 1.09800, right? And that's where I did say if in my own head, I'm like, if we do get a close below that level, which we did, we can enter short and get around 25-30 pips. Put stops to entry, take partials, or just take all of it off the table if you want. I'm probably just gonna hold it out because let it be risk free. But so we did have that drop, and since then we've kind of consolidated. We might do that for the remainder of the day. It's a bank holiday, but our overall target, which we spoke about from the start, was 1.08600. Euro is bearish. My sentiment has always been that way. I've never, thought any different, especially with the euro pretty much on the brink of a recession. Okay, because of the global trade, trade war, German and French PMI is struggling, and the euro has been due to pay a visit to 1.08 or at least 1.08600. And I have a few videos titled from back in June with, titled 1.10 next visit, 1.08. So we've continuously made the move from 1.09 all the way down. That's where we're going. I do not see any reversal unless what happens. Something about the trade war pops off later today, and there you have it. But in terms of scheduled and predictability, euro should be going down lower. Obviously, knock on wood, you never want to judge it because Forex, like any other financial market, it could be very unpredictable. But bearish bias, let's keep our shorts, see if it goes lower. Pound USD, and you guys know about me, I was never convinced about the pound recovering. And guess what happened? We dropped back down to 1.20,000, 1.20 Now, before I go into that, let's look on the daily. On the daily, we had this mini run. These couple, I believe this is like 8 or 9 days right here, off this blue support region, and we had maybe 1, 2, 3, around 3 days rallying, but what we didn't get was when we tried to long pound USD, we did get that break above 1.22800. We just didn't get that retest, and I'll show you more closely. Our key level that we were looking for in longs was 1.23730. We never got there. Right? We snapped back down. It's just that the past 4 or 5 days we've been just bearish on the pound on the daily. And if you zoom in, you can see that we're back. We've closed back below the support region, this blue rectangle, and we're most likely gonna. That what I mean by this. So if we zoom out on the pound USD, going back to June 1993, we can see the pound has never gone lower than 1.2270, right? If we break that support, if we get a close, we can go to make new highs, because looking to the left, we have no support and no activity down here. Excuse me, I'm yawning. So that's where we can go, and obviously there's Brexit news, I think earlier today or later in the day, where PMs or members of the cabinet are voting for a no deal Brexit. You can see that info. I think Daily Effects had it, but definitely Bloomberg. So you can just go on our portal and have Bloomberg running throughout the day as you trade. We have Bloomberg Live for free if you didn't know that, but just have Bloomberg in the background. I think there'll be Brexit news periodically throughout the day. But that's what we're looking for pound. Let me see on the daily if we did miss a short entry. I was mainly focused on catching euro. So 2 hourly. Let's see. Yeah. So this is basically cause and effect. So I love bear flags, and I've said it before. So if this was our overall flag, I guess. I mean our pole. This down movement, and then we entered into an ascending channel. We got the break on this candle. We had the retest, the rejection, and since then, the pound hasn't looked back. It's been on a nice 250 pip downfall since the retest of the ascending channel, which is why I love channels because they're continuation patterns. Yeah, so most likely, if we might have a retrace back to 1.2900. We did print a hammer and then go down lower, but I believe it's inevitable that we're going to touch 1.2270 by, sorry, you're going to get this on a holiday, but by the end of the week. And this week is filled with a lot of fundamentals. It's the first week of the month, and the first week of the month, the first Friday of every month, is NFP, and that is the unemployment rate and employment change for the U.S. economy. So that is a major market mover, and sometimes, more often than not, pairs will consolidate until that release. So today is pretty quiet. It's Canadian and U.S. bank holiday. We do have Aussie retail sales later at 9:30. So if you do trade news like how I do, you can take advantage of that. We do have a YouTube video on our YouTube, Forex Lens Inc., on how to trade news. Watch, so if you can maybe trade news today for the CAD or the USD back in action. We have manufacturing PMI, also a major market mover, and then we have GDP later for Aussie. And then Wednesday we have the Bank of Canada rate statement. Okay, so this is gonna be a major market mover for CAD. We have also the overnight rate and trade balance. And then we have, Evans and Bullard speaking. I believe they're just going to give hints for Friday's speech from Powell. Thursday, we have USD ADP non-farm employment change. So this is usually kind of an indicator of what Friday's numbers will be. And we also have crude oil inventories and some Swissy news, which happens every now and then. So jam-packed in terms of news. Definitely got to choose a trade setups cautiously. Friday, we have CAD unemployment and employment change, and obviously NFP. So the unemployment rate for US dollar and the non-farm employment change. And it's looking like things will pretty much be on par, but we will see. And at 12:30, Powell will be speaking. So a lot of volatility. I believe if things are different than forecast, you'll see gold spike up pretty heavy. You'll see USD spike up heavy. Your USD. So going to be a pretty volatile week, so we're not going to force the issue. But yeah, we'll try to look for some setups for miners. Let's take a peek at USD yen. So last week, I called a short on USD yen, and we got around 30, 50, anywhere from 15 to 30 pips in profit. Okay, and we closed out because we had some further news in the day, and we were done for the week, and it gapped all the way down here, so another 15 pips from entry, which is fine, but it was a pretty simple short. If you look to the left, just a nice trading range between 106.600 to 105.600, so 100 pip trading range, and it was a nice trade, but it was just a Friday, and that was the only problem with this trade. If it was midweek, we probably could have bagged this whole move, but the markets have gapped, especially the yen pairs, over the weekend. So this trade is invalidated in my opinion. Just the price action's too ugly. I don't even know if I want to enter. But USD yen, the overall bias is still short. We may come back up to 106, 640 just to retest it again. But the price action is pretty fugly here because of this gap. I don't really want to trade this, but we'll have more idea maybe tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow we do have either a close below 106.233. If we get a close below this level right here, we could go lower. Okay. If we stay anywhere above that, we are flirting with fire, and I don't want to do that, obviously. And I really don't trade NFP week too heavily anyways, other than trading the news. Because block consolidation and confusion. So USD yen bias is short, but close, break and close. Don't use a sell stop. Below 106.238. Gold will probably be consolidating until some news comes out, but if you can see right now, it has been consolidating anyways. Right above 15.19, and honestly, it's gonna be a pretty simple trade if we do get a close below 15.19. If we do get that close, and I'm not talking about any of these, I'm talking about like an actual full bearish close, maybe 20% down below. Could have a nice short to maybe 1490 or 1500. On the flip side, another push above this resistance region, like we've had here, we kind of go to 1550. That's mainly what gold is going to be doing over the past couple of days, consolidating above 1590. And the daily is still bullish. Let's not get it confused. It's still bullish. I mean, we had a significant bull run, some consolidation, retrace, a bull run, some consolidation, retrace. This retrace is a lot more consolidated than this one. But we are printing a bearish hammer on the daily, so we might move up back within this resistance region as our previous resistance here, and make another push to 1550. A close below 15.19 is crucial for shorts. So you got euro out of the way, pound out of the way, gold, USD yen. I'll look at one minor before I send this session off. If you aren't used to how the sessions work, Mondays we're just trying to get a bias for the market. Okay, and since today's a bank holiday for Canada and the US, we're not going to get too much more movement even later in the day. So we just get the bias today. Excuse me. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is usually when I like to enter trades. That's when the market tends to move a lot, and we usually get our intraday setups done within a few hours of the day. And then Friday, we are usually out of all our trades. I want to be. That's our ideal scenario. And we recover, take a step back and see how we did what we did in the week, how things went. So for the free guys, you're gonna get today's session and Friday. Okay, you're not gonna get the chunk in between, which is pretty critical because that's when most of the trades are placed and the NAS is done. So our paid guests, or we've got a bunch over the promo we had. We had a huge promo over the weekend for Labor Day. If you didn't take advantage, I believe you can still take advantage. So make sure you do so. But we've got a chunk of clients over the weekend, so we're gonna see a lot of new faces. So it's great. We're continuing to grow, but that's the overall setup for anyone that's new to the sessions. That's how it's gonna go. So Monday is pretty lax. You can even watch the session later in the day if it conflicts with work or other things on your schedule. But Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you usually want to watch it live. If not, it's fine. Most of our setups actually play out during the London session. So I usually get the entry before Aussie. And then during London, it tends to start to play out. So for people in Africa or London or New Zealand or anywhere in Europe, even Asia, we have a lot of people in Asia. These live sessions could still work for you because they're processed within the hour that they're done, and you can watch them at your own leisure on the portal, forexlens.com/portal. You just click to past live sessions, and you'll see like the past 4 or 5. And you're good to go. So don't worry about it. Uh, you'll see once you start trading with me how my style is and how it can work with pretty much anyone in any time zone. Because I do call trades throughout the day, anyways. So let's look at one minor before we send this session off. Let's just pick a random one to see. Did we short Eurocat last week? I hope we did. Could have made some nice profit, but if we did not, what I do when I look for signals is, I take 30 minutes out of my day. If there's nothing, I come back for another 30. I just go through some random pairs because I have most of my levels down. So USD CHF is probably gonna go to 0.99500, already on the way there. The safe havens did take a step back since China came out and said to US, hey, let's make a deal. We don't want to continue this trade war because both economies are struggling. And pound yen, what a beautiful setup, and I can't believe I missed this. This is on the daily, so instead of finding a trade setup, we can just talk about more technicals because price action is a beautiful form of trading. Let me go to the monthly to show you guys. So on the monthly, when we first started these sessions back in June, or I think the early part of, the latter part of April. We drew this trend line right here, okay, on the monthly time frame for the pound yen, and we had our first couple touches here, our second one here, and our third one here. And so what happened was we did get that short from up above here, right around. I don't even. That's a lot of pips. Since then, what we did was amazing, and hopefully, people that have been with me in these sessions for a couple of weeks caught this trade. So we had a push to support at 127.265. We had a rebound and to this trend line, right? We had a retest of it, so we had the break, retest, rejection, rejections here. And I believe on a small time frame, you will see them. It's going to be a close below, a retest, rejection, maybe a shooting star, something to indicate that we're going to go lower and we can have a nice trade. I mean, if entry is here, we can have our stops right below here, and that'll be a nice 2.0 risk to reward trade. Let's go to the 2 hourly to see if we do get that later today. So yeah, so spanning out. So this is a good support level. When I go to the lower time frames, I usually adjust my levels, but this is good enough. Zooming in. So currently we did get a sneaky close below, but I usually want something more significant. This is still a bearish hammer, okay? Maybe, if this candle closes bearish, so like flicks down, and it's a candle like this one, or, something like this, I'll be inclined to short, and the risk reward would be phenomenal. So this is what you guys are going to get for these live sessions. I'm actually going to show the actual levels of what we're going to be, targeting for our shorts. So we're going to get entries somewhere down here, and then our stop loss, we go down to the last recent support. So our last recent support was this area right here. Okay, this area was our last recent support. If we get a close, if our entry is somewhere down here on the candle closure, this is what we're looking at. A 2.09 risk to reward, and a pretty good trade in my opinion. So this is what I see for pound yen. Maybe we can enter later in the day. I'll have a trade alert on TradingView set for close down here, and we'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow will be obviously a more action-filled session, if you want to call it that. We might enter a trade later today in the London session. We'll see. But don't want to force the issue. So that's the outlook for the week. The dollar probably will gain against a few pairs, especially the euro. A lot of fundamentals, so be cautious. And that is Monday's session. This is the session for the free and paid users. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be just my time with the paid guys. Get them ready for another pip-filled week. Last week we had around 260, 250, and that's great. We had one loss, one official loss, USD CHF. So we go for quality trade setups, And that's all there is to it. I am RP Forex. If you guys do have a holiday today, enjoy it. Take a breather. That 5-day workday and the 2 days off can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So maybe having that 3 days off is what you need to get back on your feet. So enjoy the day. Spend some time with your family. Tomorrow we'll be getting to business, and so be ready tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern on the portal. I'll see you guys then. I'm RP Forex. I am logging off, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.